What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video. It's your boy, Critical Thought, and we back with another video. We got a special video we want to talk to y'all in this video. This is more of a sort of reflection video that I just want to go over, speak on. Hopefully y'all doing good. But I'm in this video, and I just want to talk about a few different things, right? In this video, first on the Critical Thought Jail Incarceration Podcast. We talk about our experience from the bottom, in jail, and just just where things come from, and just versus how things are now, and just how things are so different. What they were. So, first I want to say, in jail, things are so different. You know what I'm saying? I was locked in when I was 19. So things are just very different. Concepts are different. Structure is different than when you go out on the street. You know what I'm saying? In a sense to where rehabilitation is necessary. To really just understand how things work, I guess is necessary. You know what I'm saying? In some cases, right? In some cases it's necessary. Because there could be a lot of things that you just don't know, that you don't cater to, on the street, that could really just cause, I guess, mishap and people to get, that could just cause, what's the word I was just thinking of, right? That could cause just a misexpectation, or just a misnotion of just just how people feel about the certain way that you communicate, and just the certain way that you just, I guess, sort of that sort of thing, right? And it could just cause a miss, or just an off sort of it caused just an off feeling, off just emotional, I guess, or I guess just an off what's it called, misconception of just how things just of how things are, just how things you sort of feel, just by the way, in terms of how you react to certain things. Not thinking that certain little things, certain things are a big deal. You don't know if they're a big deal, and just sometimes you do, and it's just that notion of it, right? And it's some things you might feel that are a big deal really aren't. Some things you feel are a big deal, you know what I'm saying, really aren't really a big deal, really, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's just that sort of difference, I guess, in just communication, what's it called? Language and, what's the word I'm looking for? That sort of thing, right? And I guess certain courtesies, that you just don't really think about or don't consider to be that important, just because of, you just don't consider it to be that much big of a deal, that crazy. So it's it's that sort of thing, and just coming from that different mindset is just jail is just is a whole different ball game. It's just it's just a whole different ball game. It's you care more about results, and it's results is what you care about, and results is what you look at, sort of thing. And it's you don't really look at the other stuff, and it's just that's just the way it is, right? You look at the results of things, and you don't look at the other stuff. You more concerned with just the work, you know, and that sort of thing. At least I was when I was in jail. I was more so worried about like just trying to get things done, and I still am now. Like I'm still am, just focus on like trying to get things done and just trying to get things to a point to where it's just like, you know, it's you know, more structured and stuff. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, you know, because it's like I think that's like a really big deal. It's like you know, a big thing, you know. Sometimes like just I guess feelings, I guess, is just like how I perceive or I think I should treat people, like, or how I perceive or how I think I should sort of respond, or and how I believe I should proceed, like, with people, you know, I guess to show like signs of courtesy or show certain degree versus like what it really is, sort of thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like how I perceive I should be sort of like showing courtesy basis, like versus just like, you know, what it really is. So, and everything, like, you know, seriously, like to the last detail, you know, and it's, you know, even like language and stuff for me specifically, like I always got to try to find the right words to say, you know, to try to get the point across in such a technical way, you know, and it's just like, I don't know, like subtle things like that. I think is where a team, community, and I guess just like a bond in between like family or a team comes into play and is important. Like a team is important, and just like teammates are important, you know what I'm saying? And like that kind of congregated, that kind of structure is important because it's like, you know, it kind of like sorts itself out. So I think that's important, you know what I'm saying? And just seeing how things fit, you know? Just seeing how things fit is important, you know, because not everything is like, you know, has to be in such a technical way, I guess. I guess it's just better to just keep things like how it is and like not try to, you know, overly complicate or change things. You know, best to just keep shit how it is and just, you know, let it rock out, and whatever the energy that comes with it or whatever that comes with it, you know, just kind of just say like, you know, just say like whatever to it, because, you know, and just like what you've been doing, what you're doing just is what it is. What you've been doing. So just I think that's just gonna be it, you know. And coming with that mind frame is just, you know, I really guess it's just it really truly is not about like what you want to be doing. I mean, I'm not gonna say that, you know, because I've been doing a lot, you know. I've been maneuvering a lot, so I'm not gonna say all that, but you know, it's just and it's this other thing is like be yourself too, you know, because things are just complicated, you know. But other than that, you know, that's my little 2 cents on that, like in terms of, you know, Critical Thought channel, in terms of just like that subject, coming out of jail, you know, it's like, in the rehabilitation or the sort of like integration phase, it's just, I can't really speak too much on it, man. As much as I'm struggling with this, I'm not gonna lie, I really can't speak too much on it. All I can do is just say what I'm experiencing and sort of just give my sort of input based off where I'm at in the experience or in the process of it, and I guess that's just where I'm at in the process, or just in terms of my experience. That's kind of the trajectory, or just the pothole I'm at, in that regard, I guess, or that's just the sort of what's the better word I'm looking for? I guess pothole. Shit, I don't know. That's the sort of place that I ended up in terms of this process, right? So or space. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about in this video right here, the jail incarceration podcast. Just talking about that sort of thing, and just being able to try to sort of integrate back into society. And it's like, it's not something you can do, I'm just trying to, just trying to find a way to like be useful, like even regardless of just like how fucked up just, you become, and just like, how life has dealt you, as fucked up as how life has made you, like literally made you, and just try to be useful, in that sense. So that's all it is, man. Try to be useful in that regard. A lot of times you don't really see how fucked up you are, especially like when you just in the process of getting fucked up, and it's just like, you don't understand how fucked up you are. In the process of getting fucked up, and it's just like, sometimes when you distance yourself too much from people, you start to lose and that gauge or measurement, just in terms of, how fucked up you've been getting, right? In terms of just like life, and it could cause you to just like neglect to do things, I guess, according to like your strengths, like, and like, what you strength, your like real strengths are, because, trying to guess, not fully maximizing your own potential, due to the fact that, you haven't really been observing other people and just like gauging, I guess, just like where you're at. Because the more you like observe and gauge other people, you can sort of identify yourself within other people and say like, okay, I'm more like this type of person, and it just you being able to know more so like what type of person you are, allows you to just better be able to do, allows you to just better do, and I think that's the sort of thing, that's very, 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 very important, and it's as fucked up as it is, the more you sort of just like interact, I guess, with, folks, the more you start to like gauge and see like where you're at, and where you're truly at, and like where you're truly like, progressing, and like how it really is, as fucked up as it is, and that's just the way it is, man. Like it can just be, in a way you just gotta go through it, man, regardless of how fucked up it is and how much you feel, about yourself, a certain way, or whatever. Or whatever, I guess, whatever force or entity or just whatever just tries to make you feel about your own self. And progressing, you still got to be able to just progress in that way, in terms of like what it really is. And if you can just progress in that way, everything will be straight, regardless of what it is, what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is. And I think that's going to be the important thing, And that's going to be the difference maker. So that's all I really got to say in this video right here. I still love everybody, and I like to show that I love everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or at least I love the people that I love. You know what I'm saying? I like to show that. But, you know, I know that there's something bigger and there's something greater, like, you know, that's important and that's just in the works that I gotta, like, sort of focus on, you know, and I can't stay stuck. So I just pray that everybody sort of gets that as well, you know. You know, there's just other things to focus on. We can't stay down. We have to keep moving, you know, and just know, I guess, just how we really feel about each other and just about how we really feel about each other and just keep moving upward and keep moving forward, you know, and that's going to be the major thing. It's progressing, getting there, getting up, getting on top, focusing on, you know, the mission. So I said, just focus on getting, you know, upward, scaling upward, scaling ourselves upward, right? So peace, love, yeah, we're out.